The Dallas Cowboys have officially confirmed a roster move that completely changes the identity of this offense, and quite frankly, it is setting off alarm bells for anyone who understands how a championship offensive line is built. We aren't just talking about a temporary fix for a nagging injury here, we are talking about a fundamental shift in philosophy that could derail the development of our brightest young stars. If you thought the offensive line struggles were bad before, wait until you hear the logic behind this latest decision. It is absolutely baffling. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Before we dive into this offensive line chaos, do me a massive favor, hit that like button, share this video with a fellow Cowboys fan, and make sure you are subscribed so you never miss the truth about this team. So, let's get right into the fire. The word coming out of the Star is confirmed. The coaching staff has decided that Tyler Smith is staying at left tackle for the remainder of the season. He is not kicking back inside to left guard. We know that the rookie, Tyler Guyton, is dealing with a high ankle sprain and likely won't be ready for Week 17, as those injuries usually demand a 4 to 6 week recovery window. That part is understandable. You have to field a healthy team. But the part that has me screaming at my monitor is what offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer said about the future. Schottenheimer dropped a quote that should terrify you. He suggested that even if Tyler Guyton returns this season, he might not go back to his starting spot. Instead, they are viewing him as a potential swing tackle. Think about that for a second. We spent a first-round pick on a guy, he finally started playing good football, and now the plan is to bench him and keep our all-pro guard out of position on the edge? It forces us to ask a very serious question: are we trying to win games by playing our best 5 linemen, or are we just throwing things at the wall to see what sticks? This situation is so much bigger than just one position. It impacts the entire architecture of the offensive line, not just for this playoff push, but for the 2026 season and beyond. It changes the trajectory for Tyler Smith, it changes the development curve for Tyler Guyton, and it leaves a massive question mark over what the team plans to do with Terrence Steele. I have to be honest with you guys, I am not confident that this is the best plan of attack. It feels like they snuck this major philosophy change in through the back door without really addressing the long-term consequences. Now, I know evaluating offensive line play can be difficult. It's not always flashy. But when I get confused, I look to the experts who live and breathe trench warfare. Vach Lombardi, one of the best analysts in the game, made a point that I agree with 100%. He said it might sound rude, but Tyler Guyton is simply a much better left tackle now than he ever was as a right tackle in college. He has spent all year building habits on the left side. The hardest thing to do in sports is to constantly flip a young player's mechanics. And as for Tyler Smith? The consensus is undeniable. He is a good tackle, sure. But he is a Hall of Fame caliber guard. Duke Manyweather, the premier offensive line guru who actually trains these guys, has been vocal about this. He has said it's not even close. Tyler Smith's ceiling at guard is astronomical. When you move him to tackle, you are taking away his superpowers. You are taking a guy who mauls people in a phone booth and putting him on an island where he has to survive against speed rushers. He survives there, yes. But does he thrive? I don't think so. We saw this movie before with Zach Martin years ago when they bumped him to tackle. It didn't maximize his talent, and it isn't maximizing Tyler Smith's talent either. This leads me to the most controversial topic of the week, and I need you to sound off on this. This is the question of the day: do you like the Cowboys' decision to keep Tyler Smith at left tackle permanently, or do you think it is a mistake? I want to see a Y for yes or an N for no in the comments section right now. Is this the right move for the future of the franchise? Let me know down below. Let's look at the impact on Dak Prescott. We know that this version of Dak is elite when he can step up into the pocket. Ask any quarterback in the NFL, they would rather have edge pressure that they can see and step around than internal pressure right in their face. When the interior of the pocket collapses, the play is dead. By moving Tyler Smith out to tackle, you are weakening the interior protection. You are banking on TJ Bass to hold up at left guard. Now, I like TJ Bass. He's a fighter. But we saw him get absolutely cooked on that crucial 4th and 10 play recently. He gave up immediate pressure that ended the drive. Is a combination of Tyler Smith at tackle and TJ Bass at guard actually better than a healthy Tyler Guyton at tackle and Tyler Smith at guard? I strongly disagree. I think the latter is a much more formidable wall for Dak Prescott. We are essentially weakening two positions to fix one problem. We are taking an all-pro away from guard, and we are stunting the growth of our rookie tackle. And speaking of the rookie, Tyler Guyton was trending in the right direction. Before he got hurt, in his last 6 games, he was playing winning football. He gave up 1 sack and only 3 hits in that span. If you look at the analytics, his grade was climbing significantly. He looked like a legitimate NFL starter. So why, all of a sudden, is the coaching staff talking about him like he's a backup? Why is he being relegated to swing tackle duty? It feels like we are punishing a player for getting injured, and that sends a terrible message. If the argument is that we need to replace Terrence Steele, then fine. Make that argument. Terrence Steele has been the definition of average this year. He has plateaued. We are paying him a massive contract to be a guy who gives up pressures and looks shaky in pass protection. If you want to tell me the plan is to try Guyton at right tackle to see if we can move on from Steele's contract next year, I would at least understand the logic. But they aren't doing that. They are just leaving Steele alone and shuffling the left side, which is the strength of the team. It feels like panic. It feels like they are terrified of putting Nathan Thomas back on the field, and to be fair, Nathan Thomas was a disaster when he played, so they are overcorrecting by shifting their best player out of position. It's a short-term survival move that ignores the long-term health of the roster. We also have to talk about the financial conspiracy theory here. I hate to be that guy, but you have to look at the money. Tackles get paid significantly more than guards. However, Tyler Smith is heading toward a contract extension where he would likely become the highest-paid guard in NFL history. By moving him to tackle, where he is arguably just good and not elite compared to the rest of the league, does the front office think they can save money? Are they trying to pay him as a top 15 tackle rather than the number 1 guard? It's a cynical way to look at it, but with this front office, you can never rule out the financial motivations. The bottom line is this: the Cowboys are making a massive gamble. They are betting that Tyler Smith can reinvent himself on the fly and that TJ Bass can hold down the interior. They are betting that Tyler Guyton's development won't be ruined by sitting on the bench or shuffling positions. And most importantly, they are betting that Dak Prescott can survive without elite interior protection. I am worried about 2026. I am worried that we are creating a hole at left guard that we won't be able to fill, while simultaneously creating a controversy at left tackle. If this doesn't work, we enter next season with questions at almost every spot on the line except for Zach Martin, if he's even back. I want to believe the coaching staff knows something we don't. I want to believe that Tyler Smith will turn into a Hall of Fame left tackle. But based on the tape, based on the experts, and based on what we have seen on the field, this looks like a move born out of desperation rather than strategy. We need stability, and instead, we are getting a shuffle. Let me know your confidence level in this offensive line right now. Scale of 1 to 10, 1 being Dak is going to run for his life, and 10 being the Great Wall of Dallas is back. Drop your score in the comments. I'm hovering around a 4 right now because I just don't trust the decision-making process. We will keep tracking this situation every single day. If Guyton comes back early, or if they decide to finally bench Steele, we will have it covered right here. Until then, keep your eyes on that left side of the line, because things are about to get very interesting.